Yeah, we, we have a workshop about our work with perpetrators, especially with male migrants in cooperation, in close cooperation with youth services and support services for women and for children. That's integrated work that we have since the last years. The project is founded in 1999. So, well, our project is focused on the work with men. We have the Stop der Gewalt gegen Frauen, Stop of the Violence Against Women. That's very focused on this problem. We don't do work with female perpetrators now, but we try to make this too in the next years.
The essentials of our work are that we are integrating the work with male perpetrators and support of women, children, and with parents, couples. So that we collaborate closely with the support of a place which supports women, children, and parents. And my colleague Gerhard Hafner is working with the children so that we can get the feedback from the partners of the perpetrators of violence and see how the work is going, and if the partners were violent again, or so we get close feedback, and it helps for the work to end the violence in the couple. And intercultural work, so that we have a culturally sensitive approach, so that in our team as well, we are speaking different languages, Arabic, French, Turkish, German, and English. And we focus also about talking about masculinities and gender in the work with the man, and about different masculinities. And we are integrating the work with individuals with the commitments with changes in the society.
Stop of the violence against men. That's not only for the perpetrators, but it's focused on the men in Berlin of all backgrounds. So we have a integrated cooperation in Berlin, and a lot of partners. Partners are the police who send us the men, the perpetrators, and we have a Frauentreffpunkt, the support of the woman, which are integrated, and we have continuous contacts with them. Youth welfare office are sending us perpetrators to us, especially here in the district of Berlin Mitte. It's in the mid of Berlin, which they send us fathers who were violent against the mothers of the child, and a family court who are sending us the men. We have a contact with shelters for refugees. We have a lot of migrants, especially here in the midst of Berlin. There are a lot of migrants and refugees here in the mid of Berlin, and they are coming to our project, especially since last year. when my colleague Bahia was began the work here.
Already, my colleague Gerhard Hafner already talked about this. Like there are usually the perpetrators are mandated by penal courts, prosecutors, family courts, youth welfare officers, refugee shelters, and usually it is also a challenge that they are not coming always like with an internal motivation to the counseling, because they have like this requirements from the court or from the youth welfare office to come to the counseling if they want to be able to see maybe their children again that they didn't see for maybe a year, or if they want to move back to their homes, if they are still with the partners and it is possible for them and the partner wishes that they come back. So in the first place, they don't come voluntarily, and they have this and can be like seen as a challenge and also a change because it can change like during the counseling, that the motivation can change so that they can see that they can be better fathers and in this through the counseling. Yeah, and refugee shelters as well. Sometimes they have to leave the refugee shelter and they're mandated to come to be able to go back again to the shelters. And some of the men who come here are coming like voluntarily and sometimes not really voluntarily, because their partners tells them if you have to do this course if you want as a last change and the last chance to be able to stay in the relationship. But it is also, we have we are making to their partners clear that it doesn't mean that the violence will stop right away. It's not because they're coming to the course that it will stop, and the partner has to know this as well. And yeah, I have the feeling that we have more and more men who come voluntarily to the program and to the course. That is a really good thing.
Because we have a lot of public audiences, the journals and the newspapers and television make informations about our project, and that's a good way to that the men are coming voluntarily, especially the young men and the young fathers, and they see that's important for their families, for their children.
Or if their partner just got pregnant, we get this as well. But the problem is that we have less people from migrant communities who come voluntarily. That is something we have to see how to change it. Or yeah, that's a new step.
So our program is like the program of the Bundesarbeitsgemeinschaft, of the association, the German Association for the Work with Perpetrators. That's at least the clearing session, counseling sessions, and then we have a half a year sessions in a group, in a course, and some people, some men have single sessions, especially men who don't speak German good enough. Therefore, then we have to make the sessions, the counselings in Arab, in French, or in English or Turkish. Basically, we have two perspectives. One is the confrontation, that we say, okay, it's not okay what you have done. But on the other side, we have the ground is also the resources. The men are coming to our project, that we say, okay, our project is named Counseling for Men Against Against Violence. It's also counseling for men, and I think we give them the advice that it's good to change. We have said that we have different languages: Arab, English, French, German, and Turkish. With the diversity of clients, we wish to have even more languages, because now there is there are people, men from Afghanistan, and we try to have some colleague who speaks Farsi or Dari. Important topic is gender and masculinities and responsible fatherhood. We have this focus on men who are violent against the woman, the mother of the children, and therefore we have a focus in our curriculum with masculinity.
Yes, so we are working with them about the topic gender and the connection between hegemonic masculinity, dominance, and violence. And we try to help them to develop alternative masculinities and strengthen the resources of men. So as my colleague said before, we have a diversity in the team regarding gender and cultural backgrounds as role models. Me, myself, I'm from Morocco, so that's why I speak Arabic and French. And since I grew up there, I'm familiar with the culture and the religion. So it is different, I can understand some things about how they view some cultural different things, and so we can, and in the mother tongue it's also different to talk about certain topics. And since we are working together as a team with our colleagues, so the work between women and men is constructive. We can be role models also for this.
Yeah, we have an integrated system between two bodies, Träger in German. That's one is the solidarity, and a body who was founded 1945 here in East Berlin. And the other body is Träger in German, is Sozialdienst katholischer Frauen. They are two different bodies who work together against violence against a woman. That's interesting. I'm working in both bodies. This segments of this integrated system is the support for the woman, Frauentreffpunkt, which have the support for the survivors of domestic violence, the woman. Then I work in the project Kind im Blick, Child in Focus, where we have a direct contact to the children who are affected by the violence in the family by the father. And then we have this counseling here with the men in the Perpetrator program. And that's a close integrated system. We make together public relations with posters and with actions. We have this close case management that the colleague, the female colleague from the support system for the woman is coming here in the project, and we make a team, but the colleague is giving some impact about the consequences of domestic violence on the woman, on the family. And we work close together, and we have this fast exchange of information. If you have a case, then we have this very fast exchange about risks or about good developments, and not only with the focus of the woman, but also with the focus of the children. And we have this contacts with referrals from the youth services, with the courts, and so on.
Yes, so we can see the cooperation union, as my colleague already said. We are working closely with the with the project for protection of women and children, and and the perpetrators. And as my colleague already said before, we have common case management between the projects of women. We're working closely with them and exchanging informations and getting feedback from the development of the work, so that we see how it's the children are affected and the women are affected with the work that we are doing. Common risk assessment as well. We are like asking the clients about to see the risks, if if we can work with him in the first place, how dangerous it can be, or how it is possible to work with him if he has motivation and if he's able to do the program. Input in Perpetrator program. We have also the input of the counselor in the program, of the female counselor. And couple parent sessions are possible in cases of right of access, so that we can make appointments together with the both partners, with the perpetrator and his partner, but only if the partner wishes it, because we cannot put them in the same room if they are separated, and if they're still together. And we can propose this, that we can make couple parent sessions.
About focus good service for the youth services of the state of Berlin. They are sending us the children who are affected by the violence of the father. What's the task of the Child in Focus project? The important thing is the sensibilization of the fathers, also the mothers, for the needs of the children. Often they don't have the focus of the consequences of the violence, and we have to give an input, especially in the course, in the group with the fathers, that it's very important to see what's the impact and to change the behavior, because often the men have seen this behavior with their own fathers, and they should not give this behavior further on to the next generations. And we have to look if there is some childhood trauma. We don't are therapeutic, we are counselors, but perhaps we look how the children are affected. So then we have this direct support of the children. I make this direct support together with a colleague from the support for the woman. We make this together, and we have this integrated help by the women's support, by the training program for the perpetrators and the children directly. So no, on the focus, the first thing is that they are responsible for this, and that's a very good and good topic for the groups. We have the focus on the children, and we have this this topic.
The responsibility of the father, and yeah, fatherhood is a crucial issue in the treatment for perpetrators. Yeah, because it is usually the first motivation for many men who come here, is that they want to see again, to be able to see their children again. So working with fatherhood is something really important to keep them in the counseling. The viewpoint of children is an issue, a key issue. And working with their position as a father is essential. We have to explain them that when he is violent against his partner, it is really bad for their children, and they can copy him. It goes like from generation to generation, as my colleague already said. So it is an important work if we about their position as a father. And to see that is the conflict between the goal of good fatherhood and violent behavior, that it is not compatible, and they have to work on this to be a good father.
We are a small project as a perpetrator program in the big city of Berlin. We are only four employees, but the projects for the woman and the project for the children. And we are founded by this government of Berlin, of the Justice Department. That's for the program for the men. And this department is funding also the Child in Focus project. And we have this special service for youth protection, Jugendamt here in Berlin Mitte, which we are founded here by the Jugendamt. And the Frauentreffpunkt, the service for the women, are by the Department of Equality of Berlin. Yeah, that's a big question also. Perhaps in the other projects, the resources in Berlin are very small and too small for the efficient work with perpetrators, especially with native speakers from other countries. I said it, and we have to look if we can make counseling work and especially group work with migrants and refugees And it's the same is important for the cooperation with the counseling service for the woman and the children doesn't have enough resources, and especially also here for the counseling for the migrants. And what's here the tightrope, Gratwanderung in German, sagen, the first thing is there are fundamental human rights, rights for the woman. That's our ground. And we had it, Mahmoud said some important things about counseling in this respect with migrants. We don't do no othering, that the migrants are other people from other planets. And we are open for other cultures, classes, and gender relations, masculinities, sexual orientation. And we hope that we have this image of this, and therefore perhaps more men are coming by themselves, not by referral or by mandation. And we have this focus on gender, on masculinities to develop development, but by class and education, age, and other components. I think that's also an
in public discourse, criminal behavior of migrants is explained by culture and religion and not by personal experiences. You can see this about in the media here in Germany and not only in Germany. And criminal behavior of people without migration background is explained psychologically by their burdened personal biography, trauma, or not by claims of male dominance.
That's our contact. And us at the end, we're showing our sticker, which we stick at the toilets in Berlin, and to aid other men in Berlin. And okay. Thanks for your attention.